Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We are back here with another episode. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to J Wall Sports. We are back here with another episode.
Another one.
As always, I'm here with my guy, Nyshawn Anderson. What's up, man?
Shoot, working, living, not doing no schooling.
Right. Hey, that's what I was just about to say. At least we ain't got to wake up and get on Zoom at 8 o'clock in the morning no more.
I ain't had no classes at 8. I was still at 8
I
o'clock.
mean, I was asleep too, but I'm speaking to the people who were struggling out there.
Oh, yeah, true.
Right. So this week has been very interesting for sports as always. December always is. December is always an exciting year for sports. Exciting month. It's always an exciting month for sports. One of the more interesting games this week, it was a lot of interesting games, but I think this one it's in my top three. The Dolphins versus the Chiefs. The Chiefs ended up getting the W at the end of the day, 33-27. What? Talk to me, man. How you feel about this game?
I mean, like I told you in the last episode, man, that was going to be a good game. It was going to show how far the Dolphins were. And I think they're farther along than people thought they were, man. I mean, like, the whole Chiefs team didn't play the ordinary Chiefs way and wasn't the best game. I mean, Mahomes threw 3 interceptions. And they
Right,
still
and
the game.
that was wowing to me.
I mean,
And that was like, yeah, that was
go ahead.
one of my points that, Mahomes, like, I'm going to ask you first. So if you could grade Mahomes on how he played, what grade would you give him?
Against the Dolphins?
Yeah, against the Dolphins.
I want to say like a low B.
And that is wow. That was gonna be my point right there. The standard for Patrick Mahomes is so high that even though he threw 3 interceptions, he threw for 400 yards pretty much. He threw for 393 yards. And because he sets the bar so high that he only got a B plus. If Ben threw for 393 yards, we would be giving him an A plus. If Tua threw for 393 yards, we give him an A plus. Any other quarterback, we would be giving the A plus, but he's such on a higher standard that it's a B. And I completely agree with you because for a Patrick Mahomes standard, it should be a B.
But the only reason I gave him the B is because they came out with the win.
Right. If they would have lost, he would have had to get a C plus because no matter how many yards you threw, he could have threw for 500 yards, but you threw 3 interceptions and y'all took the L. No, like that's unacceptable. But I think this was one of Patrick Mahomes' like lesser games. Like, yeah, when he scrambled and they got down, like I don't even know down was, but they was 30 yards from the line from the first down.
That would.
Yeah, but I can live with that though, because as many times as Patrick Mahomes gets out of those situations. This is like the first time all year he's like he actually took the sack and he was trying to get out of it. He just bad situation. The Dolphins have a really good defense, so I can't even be mad.
I think that goes to show. Like I believe, well, the playoff run that the Chiefs went on last year. Each game in the playoffs they were down a deficit. But Houston was 24 points and they came back and won. But I think it goes to show you how good this Chiefs team is, man. I mean,
yeah, I completely agree with you. I expected the Chiefs to win. I knew it was gonna be close. I didn't think it was gonna be like 6 points close, but like I thought it was gonna be close. But looking at Tua, had a great game. To be honest, like he threw for 316 yards, was 28 for 48, 2 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. And you are 6 points away from at least tying the game. A touchdown plus the extra point gets them the win against Patrick Mahomes. That I don't think you could ask anything more from your rookie quarterback in his, what is it, fifth game of the year?
Yeah, fourth or
Like,
fifth.
yeah, it's fourth and fifth. Like, it's not bad. And this week, he showed that he can compete with the quarterbacks in the AFC because especially just in the AFC East, you already have Josh Allen. You have Cam, who is on the Patriots, but they're starting to work things out as the season goes on, and then potentially you could have Trevor Lawrence in your division next year with the Jets. That's a lot to go against, and that's just in the AFC East. In the AFC total, you got those three quarterbacks, plus you got Baker, plus you got Big Ben, Lamar, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Mahomes, and Watson. You gotta play. You gotta play at
Scary.
least. Yeah, you gotta play at least 6, 7 of those teams every year. So they need a quarterback that can pretty much lead them to the promised land of finishing games, competing, because they haven't been able to compete in forever. So this is it's a good start for them.
And also, I believe it was a testament to how good this Dolphins team is, man. I mean,
Right.
like quarterback, and you think maybe he folds under the pressure of playing the defending champs, but the whole team stepped up.
Right. This is a really good team, and I expect them to be good for the next 6, 7 years.
I agree. I agree.
Another rookie was able to get a dub versus a really good team, but this was in his first NFL start. That boy Jalen Hurts.
Hurts, yes,
Man,
sir.
yeah, hey, Hurts shocked me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, it's his first game, like first start, and he's got to go against the Saints. Like the Saints are a top 5 pass defense, only allowing 209 yards a game, and they're top 10 in interceptions. They have 13 on the year, and we're going into week 15. So they get about an interception every game, except for against Jalen Hurts. He didn't throw an interception, and he got the W. That I think
Most
that's
important,
remarkable. Go ahead.
shoot, man. I mean, I wouldn't say his performance was stellar, but it was enough. That game, he was 17 of 30, 167 yards. He did have a touchdown pass, but like you said, no interceptions, which was good. But the offense seemed more explosive. But it wasn't one dynamic, man. I mean, like the run game was able to get going, which has been a problem for the Eagles these last couple of weeks. Having a
Right.
mobile quarterback causes the defense to pause for a second. I think Sanders had over 100 yards rushing that game. It's been about 3 or 4 weeks since he had a 100-yard rushing game. So
Right.
that's all up. And, you wasn't really expecting that if I was the Saints defense. I mean, you had to prep for it, but
Right. I mean, but they on top of that, they shouldn't have let him rush for 106 yards. He was the second leading rusher for his team. While throwing 167, that opens up the playbook so much for your offensive coordinator. Now you can do, read pass options, design quarterback runs. He can, he extends plays. He was moving the chains, and he had a real command of the offense the more the game went on. Like the first quarter, he was a little nervous, you could tell. But as the more completions he got, the more confidence he was, and the more he controlled the offense. And that's when I think he just started taking off.
it seemed like the whole team played better. And that's been a kind of a constant whenever Carson Wentz is not the starting quarterback for the Eagles.
Right.
But you might go
And
something's a locker room issue, and maybe they don't like Wentz, his ego or something, the way he's talk. I don't know what it is, but I know the defense for the Eagles have been kind of carrying that team for a
yeah,
while, and they had a really great game. I mean, granted, Drew Brees is not playing, but they still have a bunch of weapons. I mean, Kamara, I think only had like 50, maybe 60 yards rushing that game.
yeah,
They was able to
that,
get stats, which
yeah,
they haven't done. So
Yeah, I think Drew Brees not being there was because he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Mm, that was a that was a big factor in the game. But just looking at how Tua played, how he was able to extend plays, like it. If he's able to finish the season like this, I think Carson Wentz is going to get traded. Because at this point, when you bench your seasoned veteran quarterback this late in the season, it's sending a message to the team. And remember, the week before they was asked, oh, are you gonna insert Hurts into the starting lineup? He was like, no, because I don't want to send the wrong message. Well, now you started him. Now he got the win. You're already sending the message is clear to your team on what's going on, and I don't think you can mend a relationship like that. So it's either the quarterback goes or the coach goes. And the way Hurts is playing right now, if he continues to play this well throughout the rest of the season, I think they're gonna move on from Carson Wentz.
now he just got that contract this past season. That's a lot of money that's going to be missing.
I mean, it's a lot of teams that need a quarterback. I think Wentz, needs a restart button. He needs to go to a new team, new offense, and maybe he'll be able to flourish there. It's a lot of quarterbacks, they start off good with one team, and then once they move to that second team, they take off, i.e. Drew Brees. When he made it to the Saints, he sort of took off and started becoming the Hall of Fame quarterback that we know today.
Now, First Take, I do watch that from time to time before I go to work. Max Kellerman wasn't talking crazy. I mean, I do believe he said Wentz has regressed, and it's a mental. I mean,
right.
Season-ending injury when Nick Foles led him to the Super Bowl, then won. The next year he was kind of hot, injured again. Then Foles took him to the playoffs again. Then they give him a big contract. And he's been playing poorly all year. I mean, like you said, it's time for a new start. But
yeah,
keep him going if they do decide to move on from him.
I mean, Denver could take a stab at him.
I think Denver got Drew Lock, I think.
I'm not 100% sold on Drew Lock. He is a young quarterback, but I think maybe a few years for him to learn behind somebody who's like been in the league for a little bit, because his decision making is not the best.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shoot, Steelers could take a stab at him because not the Chargers but the Colts. They both those teams have older quarterbacks.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, both those teams have older quarterbacks, so they're playing good enough where they're not going to be able to get one of these quarterbacks that are coming in the draft now. So a trade to get Carson Wentz might help. I think he needs a new start, new system, new GM, new coach. Whole nine. I think that'd be best for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now you brought up them Steelers.
You said what?
Brought up them Steelers, man. It's been kind of rough. And Steelers like weeks.
Hey, man. That moment where you call something and everybody's looking at you like you're stupid, and then you're right? That is how I feel about the Steelers right now. Because I was on a Twitter battle with my friend Cam, and he's a diehard Steelers fan. And I told him, I was like, this is before they lost to Washington. I was like, y'all not as good as y'all record. And he was adamant. He was like, we're 11-0. We're 11-0. And I was like, y'all don't beat nobody. So them losing made my whole week. Just because of the fact that I was right.
I'm weak.
Yeah, but that loss to Washington was bad because it's Washington, and that was bad. You like
They
it
had 20 yards rushing the whole game against Washington.
exactly, and then
21. No Savage.
right, Big Ben threw the ball 53 times.
And that
There's
game playoffs. You're not gonna win like that.
exactly, and we're talking about a person who he tore three tendons in his throwing arm on his elbow, and he threw the ball 53 times. That told me two things. You don't trust your running back, and you don't trust your offensive line. And you're not winning and you don't trust your offensive line and your running back.
I mean, that's the same thing I said. The run game is non-existent. You're not
It
gonna
isn't.
win games when you only see one way. You're not dynamic enough to throw the defense off when they already know what's coming.
Right. And the their defense, the Steelers defense is remarkable. You know, the they are they're a top team in both categories in rushing and passing yards attempts allowed. They they pretty much they got a team on their back. You know, they're the sixth. Here it is. They're the sixth best in total run yards allowed, and they're the second best in total passing yards allowed. That's putting the team on your back compared to what this offense is doing. That's putting the team on your back.
I honestly think it is tired too. I mean, the first week, who was it? Was it Kansas City? Not Kansas City. Tennessee. They played Tennessee. They're supposed to have a bye, but the bye got canceled. No, it was Tennessee.
Right.
So they didn't have a bye week, and then the Ravens game got pushed back. Not a lot of practices going on. The Pre's out for the season. They have injuries too. So you're seeing the Steelers team who had an easy schedule, but the end of the season is kind of to see where they really are, and you can see that they're not where they need to
Right.
be.
And that's like my whole point of why this Steelers team isn't that good. Up until this point, they played four teams with a record of over 500. They played the Ravens twice, and they don't beat the brakes off of any of the teams that they play. Like I expect them to beat the brakes off of Denver. I expect them to beat the brakes off the Giants, the Eagles, and Dallas. They didn't do that. Those are all 3-4 point games. Like if you can't beat the brakes off the team that you're supposed to beat the brakes off of, I don't expect you to beat the teams that I'm iffy about.
And they still got to play Browns. I think it's the last week of the season.
Yeah, that's week 17, and that's going to be a really good game because Baker he's been lighting it up a little bit. And another thing, I just happen to like want to look at it. The where was it? Well, I'm gonna do the just recent one. So the 2007 Patriots team that went undefeated, but lost in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at their points of margin wins, and they was beating the brakes off of teams. Like I'm talking about, they was embarrassing teams like 52-0 shutouts, 50-7 shutouts. Like they was straight embarrassing teams, and they weren't just doing it to the bad teams. They was doing it to good teams too. Like the Giants when they still had Eli Manning at the season. I want to say it was the season after they won the Super Bowl. Beat the brakes off of them. And that's my whole point with this team. They can't beat the brakes off of nobody. And then when they played the Bills, I expected them to lose again because the Bills have Josh Allen. Josh Allen plays really good. And again, they couldn't do anything on offense. They didn't have a receiver with more than 55 receiving yards the entire game.
Drops too, man. And all them receivers just dropping the balls.
Right. And I don't understand why they're dropping the ball. I mean, is it the quarterback? Is it the
Nah,
receivers?
Big Ben accurate though, but
Yeah, Big Ben has always been accurate, But so like if Big Ben is accurate, then it's the receivers.
Oh yeah, it is.
So then we need to figure out why the receivers can't catch the ball, and that's what you get paid to do for a living. You make your money to make sure two hands on the ball, and you got to bring it in. But I don't know, man.
Hey, Pittsburgh wide receiver, hit my line. Hit my line.
What is up with you in this?
I'm trying to get paid. It's a panoramic.
Last week you wanted Jerry to hit your phone. Now you want the Steelers GM to hit your phone. No, what's wrong with you? Stop it.
Chasing the
Why would you
bag,
do
bro.
that to yourself?
Praying on my downfall, bro. Praying on my downfall.
Look, I'm your real friend because I tell you the truth.
Nah, you be capping sometimes, man.
No.
No, you be tripping sometimes.
No. But if they put you in the slot and you gotta run over the middle, you're gonna get your clock cleaned.
Oh, I'm pulling a Madden 21 conservative catch, falling as I'm catching it. You're not hitting me.
All right, yeah.
On the ground, you hit me.
Madden in real life, two different things now. When you got 6'4", 250, dropping all his weight and loading into you, you gonna cough that ball up.
Hey, shoot. I take my game check, keep pushing. Not to go to medical bills and be good.
Hey, baby, I don't blame you. Well, that's all we got today, guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be back with you in a few days because we have basketball. We're going to be talking about where's James Harden be and who's the best duo in Laker history. Is it LeBron AD, Shaq and Kobe, or Magic and Kareem? Right? Hey, so you guys gonna have to tune in next episode to find that out. Yeah. So make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Turn on the post notification so you can get
get notified.
Yeah, get notified whenever we drop a new video. All right, guys.